YouTube. So it's November 12th, 2024, the day after Veterans Day. Uh, and we just lost a Democrat. Democrats just suffered a pretty big loss for our election, our presidential election. But yesterday was Veterans Day. And I spent the whole day working at my job giving free haircuts to vets yesterday. And I kind of didn't want to go. I didn't really feel like it at the beginning of the day. I didn't really feel like celebrating Veterans Day. And then I got to work, started cutting hair for, the ones that were veterans, which was most of them, for free. Because that's what my job does. With my company I work for, we do free haircuts for vets on Veterans Day, which, it's a good idea. It's a good thing to do. I like it. I didn't want to go, but after I'd say about the second haircut, my attitude sort of changed on it because I got to, if you cut hair for a living, you get paid to cut hair and have conversations with people that you otherwise wouldn't have conversations with. Talking with them, we didn't talk about anything political. We talked about our experiences in the military. Some of these guys, they're Vietnam vets. Some of the conversations I had got me to think, and they got me to kind of help me work out what exactly I was mad about on the 5th, election day, why I was so pissed off about those results. And it helped me realize that actually I'm not mad at Republicans. I don't agree with them, obviously. I would much rather see Kamala Harris be the president-elect. But Trump isn't going to do anything good for this country. That's not really the point, at least not in this video, because I'm not mad at Republicans for exercising their right to vote that I spent 8 years of my life defending and in service to the Constitution. I'm not mad at them for exercising their right to vote. We always knew that they were going to vote that way. It's not a surprise that the Republicans, especially the red hat wearing morons, were going to vote for Donald Trump. We always knew that. They were always going to do that. And we knew from the last election and the election before that about how many of them there were. What makes me mad is that Kamala Harris got, now that we have a clear picture of the accurate numbers, Kamala Harris got about 10 million fewer votes than Joe Biden. If you remember from the last one, 2020, we beat Donald Trump. We beat him last time. But this time, 10 million Americans who voted for Joe Biden decided not to vote for Kamala Harris. They didn't vote for Trump, they just didn't vote at all. And that's why we lost. I'm not mad at Republicans for voting the way that we always knew they were going to vote. They exercised their right to vote, and they won. They shouldn't have, but they did. So apparently there's about 10 million Americans in this country who have never flown on a commercial airline because they wanted a virtue signal about Hamas or about Palestine or whatever the hell foreign policy that they didn't like about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Whether that's accurate, whether it's not, whether it's perceived, I don't know, I don't care. Those people probably never flew on a commercial airline, or if they did, they weren't paying attention to the stewardess when she explained that in the event of an emergency, air mask will drop down from the ceiling and you're supposed to put yours on first before helping your disabled neighbor. Do you not understand why you're supposed to do that? You wanted to virtue signal and play the good guy or make some kind of political statement by not voting. And you made a statement, but it's not the one that you thought you were making. You don't understand how triage works. You don't understand why you put your mask on first. That's the message you sent. Because you wanted to throw a hissy fit. Do you not understand what happened? Because Trump ain't good for this country. Never has been, never will be. We already know he's not good for this country because he put us through he misresponded to a pandemic. He underresponded or responded badly or however you want to phrase it. And we ended up with a whole lot of Americans dead as a result. It's going to be worse this time because now he doesn't have to worry about getting reelected for one of two reasons. Either because he can't get reelected because this is his second term, or because he's actually going to make good on the threat that he made about never having to vote again because he's going to manage to become a dictator in this country. Now, I don't know how he's going to go about doing that. I don't know if he actually can, but if he pulls it off, he's right. You'll never have to vote again. Which means 2020 was your last time that you ever voted. And I hope it's not. I don't really think he can pull that off. But I didn't think we were going to lose this election either. Either way, he doesn't have to worry about getting reelected. So now he's going to be even more unhinged. And the people who voted for him, the worst kinds of people in this country, the red hat wearing MAGA morons, they just have all the permission they need to be their worst. To behave in a way that is the most disgusting example of humanity. And a lot of people probably going to get hurt because of it. And you didn't do anything. Yeah, I'm not mad at Republicans for voting. I'm mad at the 10 million people who chose not to. And my conversation with these veterans is what helped me work that out. Some of them voted for Trump, some of them voted for Harris, but they all voted because that's what veterans do. If you understand what your oath to the service was, and if you understand why you decided to enlist in the first place, that's what veterans do. There might be a veteran or two out there who chose not to vote. I got nothing to say to you, if that's the case. You know, I'm not just a vet. I'm also a member of the LGBTQIA+ community. Okay, I'm asexual. The last letter in that, I'm the last letter in the alphabet mafia. The last thing that people tend to think of when they hear the word queer. Most people think, oh, gay. No, that's a pretty big umbrella term. What those 10 million people who refused to vote just said to me was, I don't give a fuck about you. You became something worse than a Republican. You became a deserter because you wanted a virtue signal about Palestine rather than sucking it up and doing what needed to do, putting your damn mask on first before trying to help your neighbor. Now, who did you help anyway? You didn't help Palestine by doing that. You didn't help Palestine at all. You might have made their situation worse. That's what my fellow vets helped me figure out. We didn't have that conversation. It's something that I figured out while talking to them about other subjects, our time in the military, why we enlisted, why we were proud to serve. And I was. At one point in time, I was proud to serve this country. I am no longer proud to have done that. And it's not because of Republicans. It's because of people who refuse to vote for one reason or another. You spit on my service. And you turned your back on the queer community. Because you were mad about Palestine. Not happy about how things are going over there. That's why I voted for Harris. Not because I think she's great for them, but because with Harris, at least there's a chance we can try and change something. With Trump, that's over. That's gone. That's done. Harris was never going to help Palestine, but Trump was going to make it worse. Voting for Harris is putting the mask on first. Putting your mask on first. Voting for Trump, that was virtue signaling, refusing to put your mask on. Trying to be the good little boy, look how great I am, and look how much I care about Palestine. Well, now America has passed out because we didn't put our mask on. We're not going to do Palestine any good. That's what you did. That's why I'm mad about the election. I'm not mad at Republicans for exercising their right to vote. And fuck you if you want me to be. I defended that right. I served this country to make sure that they had it. I served this country to make sure that you had it too. And you didn't use it. Because you were cranky over foreign policy. And you don't understand why you put your mask on first. Don't ever call yourself an ally of the LGBTQ community, because you're not. And don't ever thank me for my service in the military. If you're one of those 10 million people that didn't vote, I don't want to hear you say thank you to me. Republicans, yeah, you can say thank you, because at least you fucking voted. I don't agree with your policy, and a lot of you are shitbags, but at least you voted. At least you took advantage of the rights that I spent 8 years in service to. Democrats that voted, thank you for voting. We tried. Let's do better next time, because I don't want to hear this doomer talk bullshit either. And we're going to take our rights away. We're never going to have an election again. If you proceed under that assumption, you're right. It's going to it might become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it'll be our fault too. We know they want to do that. If we do nothing to stop it, that's as much our fault as it is theirs. So vote. Get up off your ass, go down to the ballot box, and vote in every single election that you are eligible to vote in for. Fucking vote. Don't stop. Never give up. None of this doomer bullshit. You're doing their job for them when you do that, so knock it the fuck off. And vote. Proceed as though we are going to have another election. No matter how bad it looks. No matter how fucking bleak. Vote. Proceed as though we are going to have another election. And start campaigning now. Campaign for your local elections, campaign for your state elections, campaign for the midterms, and campaign for the general election in 2028. Start now. It's the only thing we can do. Because Trump won. Now, what are you going to do about it?